What up, dope family? Man, I have to say, I'm always inspired by those out there making moves and getting it done. This year has been one of enlightenment and growth. The world's changing. People are focused on different things, and even our idea of money is changing. Or is it? I know there's been a lot of talk about cryptocurrencies and how technology is being used to revolutionize money. My thought is it a revolution or potentially an evolution? All this and more when we break down and talk more about the history of money on The Breakdown. So if you've been in a bubble or you new to the world, you may not know about all the changes we've been going through lately. Stuff like COVID, quarantine induced by COVID, crazy politics while simultaneously fighting COVID. It was like a tag team match, slamming us on the mat and kicking us in the chin, but we survived. Or did we? So when most of us think of money, we think about dollars and coins that you use in transactions when you go to the store, or the money that's sitting safe in the bank waiting for you to swipe that debit. But with the introduction of cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, amongst many others, more and more people are starting to think what makes their money real. So the real question is, what makes money money? So money has three essential functions. It has to have a medium of exchange, meaning it can be used in exchange for goods and services, or to put it simply, you got to be able to buy stuff with it. Money has to have a unit of account or a standard numerical value of measurement, and it has to relate to the value of goods. Lastly, it has to have a store of value, meaning that it has to be reliably saved, retrieved, and then expected to be used when it is retrieved in a medium exchange. When thinking of money, you might think of these two types. You got intrinsic currencies, be reflecting the direct worth of value or commodity, and then fiat currencies, which are issued by the government. Now, fiat currencies are not backed by a commodity with direct value such as gold, barley, or weed. But fiat currencies must be legally exchangeable with something with intrinsic value. Now, the value of a fiat currency like the United States dollar is based on the overall credit, assets, and trust in the government for which the money is printed. In this, the central banks have greater control over the daily flow of the economy because they can control how much of the money is printed, but not necessarily how the money is valued. As functioning members of the economy, we are commodities of our governing currencies. Now, the fact is that money or currency dates back before written history. And because we don't know how many times history has been rewritten, any story tracing our dollar back to currency when it was first developed will be based on incomplete information. Some stories tend to go back to bartering with the emergence of bartering markets or trade markets. So with bartering, things specifically like grains, livestock, or tools for farming will be traded. Things of vanity and novelty will also be traded like shells, stones, or beads for the essentials, which would technically make them the first form of money. But the fact that commodities can be traded don't necessarily make them money. So the true original economy was more of a gift economy. An economy where I owe you one was more than implied. Essentially, when selling in, folks would gift grains, tools, livestock, and automatically expect that one day the favor would need to be returned. This is mostly possible because the trade in the gift economy was based on the essential needs and survival of everyone involved. So the true idea of money trails back to what we call debits and credit, presenting money in its true form or forms. The forms being money of exchange and money of account. Now, most people believe that money first took its physical form before it was recorded in ledger system. But au contraire. The ancients had the internet trade system on lock way before you was watching your crypto wallet. In truth, most money that exists today and throughout history in the oldest forms of currency exists in the system of ledgers of debits and credits. So going from originally settling using a gift economy to creating a ledger system like in places of medieval Europe, which at the time was short on resources and reading skills. They used instruments such as a tally skip to keep accounts. So in this system, they would take a stick with some notches, break it in half, and then give each party a half as proof of the transaction. The first widely known form of currency is the Mesopotamian shekel. Now, made mostly of silver, the shekel was found and used in much of the African continent before the impact of European world settlers?
But colonization
In the growth of trade. Now, the coin in general was good for transactions and to keep record over great distances, as it was portable, durable, and easily transacted. And it had inherited value. Also, with minted coins, political leaders were like, well, how do we control all these people? Eventually extracting taxes and then using the tax to fund armies. So wait, we created money from nothing? Tax funded armies to... That right there is the breakdown. As history shown, money has had as many changes as we had. They just wasn't all jammed into 1 year. Like, share, and subscribe. Here on The Breakdown, we will be breaking down interesting facts while we break down America's favorite pastime. Also, if you got a topic that you want broken down, don't be shy. Post it in the comments below.